like I'm really fantastic. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Esther J, MsTopacJay. So into this video, we're going to be doing a foundation test on the new Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation. All right, I'm excited to be here. I feel like I'm about to receive an award, but I am excited to be here. I'm actually surprised I'm here because I thought I wouldn't be able to review the foundation because there's no prospect of it coming to Australia just yet, or even at all. But I saw my girl Missy do a review on it, and I went to a description box without watching the video yet because I need to review it first. And I saw the website where she got it from. Because it's a UK-based website, I was quite hopeful that I'll be able to get it. And lo and behold, I ordered it, and a few days later it arrived. So here we are. Okay, so if you're interested in seeing my first impression, my recommendation, my wear test on this oily combination skin, be sure to keep on watching this video. If you have to subscribe, please share the family down below, notification as well, so that way you don't miss a single video from me. Okay, let's jump straight into this video. All right, so as I said, this is a Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation. I have the previous one, which is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and this is it. I haven't opened this yet. I picked up the shade Chai, but before I ramble on about the shade I picked up, let me just tell you the other specs about it. By the way, I'm looking down because of my notes here. I bought this for exactly $57.42 Australian currency. Okay, it retails for $40 US and 29 UK pounds. As I said, I bought this on lookfantastic.com, which is a UK based website. The foundation itself comes in 35 shades. They mainly cover neutral and golden undertone, which I found really interesting, and also rosy undertone as well. I picked up the shade Chai, which is described to be deep with golden undertone. There's about 8 shades after this particular shade. In the previous foundation, this one right here, I picked up the shade Mahogany, which doesn't really sit well with me. It's a little bit red on my skin tone, just a little bit, but it still eventually works. So I decided to pick up Chai just to try it because Jackie uses Chai. But when I met Jackie, I did notice we have a little bit of a slight difference in our undertone. So if this doesn't work, at least I've got Mahogany and I can mix it together. Do you know what I mean? So they claim for the foundation to be oil-free, oil controlling, waterproof, transfer resistant, 24-hour, undetectable, super long wear foundation. We're not going to be testing it for 24 hours today. We're going to be doing about 8 hours, okay? The first ingredient is water. It also has some hydrating properties to it, including coconut water, alpine rose, hyaluronic acid as well. And they say blurs away imperfections. It's weightless on the skin. It has undetectable coverage. When it comes to the coverage, the exact coverage claim itself, I noticed that they mainly say, like, you know, you can build up the coverage by using their specific brush, which we don't have. You can also make it to be more natural finish. So I'm guessing they're claiming more of a beautiful kind of coverage, like customize it whichever way you want. Does that make any sense? So yeah, let's go ahead and open this up and see if the shade is actually right. Oh, I love the packaging, by the way. I love the length of it in comparison to this one. There's something about length. But the packaging is still the same as the previous one. I feel like the new one is a bit more frosted than the current one. And the new one, they have 24-hour printed on it as well. In terms of setup, they still very similar. Just, you know, difference in size, in height, and all of that. Do you know what I mean? And they're both glass bottle, but the new one is more frosted. And the new one also comes in 30 mils or 1.0 fluid ounce, just like the old one. All right, so now let's see it. It comes in a pump. Okay, not bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and pump it onto my plate. Oh, there we go. Oh, this looks a little bit. Oh yeah, it does look golden. Yeah. I also want to pump out Mahogany so I can put it side by side. So they recommend both a brush and a sponge. And as always, I'm just gonna alternate between both twos. All right. That is the shade Chai in the Born This Way matte foundation, and that is the Born This Way foundation in the shade Mahogany. So as you can see, this one is a little bit runny. That one is not as runny, which is quite interesting. Let me just spread this out and show you the difference in the shade. You can see the Mahogany looks a little bit like just a teensy bit more orange or red. The new one looks more golden. So I think this is promising. So let's go ahead and apply. And I'm just applying using my makeup sponge. That's golden. I think it will be all right once it settles into my skin. Like, okay. Before I tell you my full thoughts on the sponge application, I'm gonna go ahead and apply it on the other side using my brush. And this is the Shop Miss A F23 brush. And there's only a little bit left from the 3 pumps that I pumped onto my plate, but I've just picked up all of it with the brush. So let's see if it's gonna cover the side of my face. Okay. So I like that. You can see that the sponge side looks more glowy than the brush side, or is it just me? I like the way it applied with a brush, but I feel like I didn't apply an even amount on both sides. Do you know what I mean? So this side, where I'm just used to apply with a brush, appears more natural, more skin-like, which is still nice as well, you know, especially on those natural days. And this side looks a bit more like there's makeup there, but not full coverage still. This side looks more light. This side looks more medium coverage. So let's just go over the side that I used to apply with a brush, sponge, let's go over it with a brush just to kind of, you know, reduce. Oh, instantly that's better. Instantly reduce the glow and is making it look more skin-like. You know what? I think I want to stay skin-like today. It's not every day we should be doing full coverage. It's not every day, you know what I mean? So I think I want to do that. No, I'm going to apply a little bit more, just a little bit, because I want to see its power in building up coverage. You know, I didn't color correct or none of that. I just realized I didn't use a primer. You know what? It's okay because I did my skincare. I applied my moisturizer. It's not a do or die. It's okay. And the primer that I was going to use was the Flower Beauty Perfecting Primer anyway. And mainly because of its hydrating property. It doesn't do anything about longevity, controlling oil, making your makeup last longer and all of that. None of that. It just keeps, you know, makes the skin look more awake when it's applied and all that. It's kind of like a moisturizer anyway. So we're just going to move. We move. So let's go ahead and build up the coverage in areas where we need it. I'm just going to a little bit does go a long way with the foundation. So let's see what that tiny little dot is gonna do to cover this area. And maybe a little bit on my forehead and here. I also saw a blemish here as well. Wow, a little bit goes a long way with this foundation. They said to build up the coverage in some areas, stipple it. So I'm just stippling it instead of wiping it. Wow, wow. I love that. I did a good job. Even though they claim for this foundation to be a matte finish, I'll say it's more of a semi kind of matte finish. It's not uncomfortable, it's not drying. Okay, so that's really good. I'm liking this foundation. I like it. I'm liking it. Enough said, I like it. It's easy to build up the coverage. Like I literally used a tiny dot. You saw the tiny dot that I used to build up the coverage a little bit here on my top of my lip, a little bit on my forehead, especially the one here as well. You can see a little bit of my blemish here, but not as much as it was before, you know, and that tiny little bit did the job. So that's really good. Right now my face feels really lightweight. It does feel a little bit wet. It feels like I need to set it, but as usual I'm gonna wait and see what happens with it. So I'm just gonna proceed and do the rest of my face and then come back and say other things I want to say about the foundation. The time right now is 9:59. Oh, 10 o'clock. I love seeing time change. Okay, I'll be back. All right, so here we are. Now I'm done with the rest of my face. Like literally the time right now is 11:30. I've been here for a little bit because I was filming another video, but let's register the first time, which was 10 o'clock, which was the time that I actually applied to the foundation itself. Now, as you can see, as I said, I finished the rest of my face. I didn't set the foundation whatsoever, and the foundation still does feel a little bit damp on my face. Not really wet, but like damp. And when I touch it, it has little to no transfer. And you expect a little bit of transfer when the foundation is still a little bit damp on your face. So if you don't really like that kind of feeling, you want to go ahead and set it with a powder. I didn't set it with a powder. And obviously, as you can see, I've got concealer under my eyes. I set my concealer, but I try not to set the foundation itself, and I only apply the powder that I set my concealer in the middle of my nose. So I try as much as possible not to compromise the foundation because I really want to see how the foundation is going to turn out. Also, how the foundation is going to turn out with the full face and whatnot, as usual. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the shade that I picked up, I really like the shade. Honestly, it worked perfectly on me. I believe the shade Chai and the other one would have worked on me as well, but I'm still not mad at the fact that I picked up Mahogany because it still works, especially with some kind of with some other concealer, so that's still okay. It does still feel lightweight on my face, and with definitely medium coverage. Okay, so I really like it. I'll try and do a daylight video as well. All right, so let's go ahead and do the wear test. Okay, I'll try and do 8 hours. We're not doing 24 hours today. Okay, yeah, I will see you soon. Also, everything layered on top of the foundation really nicely with no issues. Okay, see you soon. All right, it's currently 3 o'clock and this is what we're looking like. Very dewy. I've got my jumper on, don't mind that, and this spray to the back. I'm very dewy. I've been doing like this for half an hour. Alright fam, so I am back, and yes, the hoop is gone. I can't find it anywhere. Anyway, it's later in the day, and right now the time is 7:23, as you can see. So it has been 9.5 hours. So this is what my face is looking like. I did a mini check-in earlier in the day, about 4 hours after I'd finished applying the foundation itself, and I just wanted to show you that my face was looking a bit dewy. And literally after that, like about an hour or so after that, I didn't look as dewy. And then I went on a walk, you know, I had to wear a mask, and it still didn't really affect the foundation itself. Okay, so this is what my face is looking looking like about 9.5 hours later. No touch up, nothing, no blotting. I have been tapping my face because I get itchy sometimes, you know what I mean? But no blotting whatsoever, and I still didn't set the foundation. My face is still looking nice and taut. It still looks good. It still looks all right, you know, not as beat or whatever as I did earlier in the day, but it looks good. In terms of oil, I don't see anything. I don't see any oil except for the dewiness that I saw earlier today, but that's just literally it. But I do see a little bit of a bunching up situation on my nose here, but it's not as problematic. And I also see that a lot more coverage has kind of left my upper lip area right here as well, and this spot right here was more covered than this earlier on. Aside from that, where else? Oh yeah, this one is still fine. Do I still want to blot? I don't know. Let me see if we'll still get something. We probably will from underneath. And the fact that I didn't use a primer, like, you know, even a mattifying primer, whatever, and it's still like, and my face is still like this, I don't mind it. Okay, so there's definitely oil sitting beneath the foundation itself, but it didn't come through, which is really cool. This is a NYX Stay Matte Butter Flat Powder in the shade Cocoa. I'm just gonna touch up, just build up coverage around here. Like if I was like doing a 12-hour shift and I just wanted to touch up, even though I really wouldn't be touching up because I'm like, don't care, you know. I just want to see what it would look like. Not bad at all, not too shabby. Let's do my slow-mo. Not too shabby at all, honestly. I've showed you the comparison. I do like it for normal skin, combination skin, oily skin even, especially when we use a mattifying or, I mean, oil controlling primer, just in case you're more concerned. And also if you go ahead and set the powders, the foundation as well. So yeah, let me know down below if you have any question for me about the foundation, okay? And I'll try as much as possible to answer it, okay? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, okay? If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Oh, by the way, it also did look good in daylight. I mean, I already showed you babes already in this video. If you're interested in normal skin type review, be sure to check out Mrs. I'm gonna put a link to her channel down below as well, okay? Thanks for watching. As I said, as always, whatever, to love yourself, and by God grace I pray I see you in my very next video. Bye.